Hi, welcome back to Pit Stop Perspectives. I'm Emma,
And I'm Liliana.
and welcome to the pod. So, we've missed you guys for a bit. Things have
Yeah,
been very
a little
hectic
crazy.
in the racing sphere. I was at races back to back.
2 whole weeks.
I know. So, speaking of, let's talk about Canada.
Montreal. How was it?
Oh my gosh, I had the best time. It was so hot. It wasn't even that hot. It was that the UV level was so intense and there was no cloud coverage. So it was really, really hot, but
Mhm.
I had such an amazing time this year. Last year, I didn't know anybody going into it. I had recently gotten into racing, and so I had gone to no meetups. I didn't know anybody. I didn't intend to meet anybody at the track, and that's not how I came in this year. And I
Yeah.
had like the most amazing experience. I ended up on Aston Martin's Instagram, and so did my brother.
Shout out
So,
Aston
for those
Martin.
who are unaware, my brother is a massive Lance Stroll fan and bought a whole Lance Stroll race suit. And Girls Across the Grid had arranged a meetup, and one of the racing teams had reached out to them and said, "Hey, like, we would love to come film content with you guys during your meetup." But we had no idea what team it was. And that morning, my brother was like, "Oh, I don't want to go. It's so early." It was 9:30 when we were trying to leave the hotel. Not that early. And I was like, you know what? Just come. Like, it could be Aston Martin. We don't know. Lo and behold, it was Aston Martin. So Matthew had his own photo shoot with the entire team, like with the
Love
whole
that.
social media, not the team. And we were really like, oh, like if you want to give us a paddock pass, like we won't complain, blah, blah, blah. And they were
We
like,
want
no, but are you going to any other races? And he was like, I'm actually considering it. I think I may go to Monza or Baku. And they were like, okay, well, go early in the week. You have our phone number. Text us if you intend to go, and we will get your race suit signed by Lance. So,
And then you have a
shout out
signed
to,
race suit. Like,
I know, shout out to Kim at Aston Martin for that. And then that was incredible. And it was also an F1 Academy weekend.
oh yeah, yeah.
So I was talking to Lucy Block, and Netflix just whipped out a camera and started recording us talking. So if you see me on next season of F1 Academy, just remember you heard it
Shout me
here
out.
first, folks. It
uh,
was just a surreal experience. And then I
yeah.
started talking to on Sunday to Chloe Chambers' dad to find out that she's originally from 2 towns away from me in New Jersey. So,
That's so cool.
yeah, it was like such a surreal race experience. I also found somebody who listens to us. So, I did not get that individual's name, but shout out to you. It's
If
nice
you
to know
hear
we're
this,
not just talking.
we love you.
It's nice to know we're not just talking into a void.
uh, I already forgot. Like that wasn't even. It wasn't even like 3 weekends ago or anything. Like it was like last weekend, and I'm already forgetting
Yeah.
like everything.
Oh, and then there was the St. Louis IndyCar race.
And Le Mans.
Oh my God. So you need to
Yeah.
understand is this entire weekend I am like off grid. I'm not really on my phone. And I'm like to Liliana, I'm like, you need to keep me updated on Le Mans. But only through memes.
I
Which if
sent.
you follow us on Instagram, you saw them on our story. They were amazing.
I don't even think that was all of them. I think that those were just the ones that I deemed funny enough to go on the Instagram too.
Yeah, there was stuff about Logan we didn't put up.
Yeah,
The chill one.
we didn't put that one up.
We also didn't put the story of, oh, so I'm doing what I do best and I'm talking badly about James Valls on the street in Montreal because what else am I going to do? I'm not directly talking bad about him. I'm just explaining my issues and the fact that I had a TikTok that literally just said all that and it got a higher level of traction than my usual videos do.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, who's walking by as I'm telling this story? James Valls.
Hey James.
And the individual I'm talking to, our friend Ella's friend Eddie, looks at me and goes, should I go after him to take a photo? And I look at them and I look at him and I go, no.
I would have done it. This is so petty of me. I would have done it just to like halfway crop him out of the picture. Like I would have had the picture with him, but I would have had him like right at the edge, you know?
And then this TikTok gets even more elaborate because who likes this TikTok a few days ago? The one, the only Madeline Sargent,
Ooh.
Logan's mom.
I love it.
And I text you, I'm freaking out about this. This happened actually on Monday, so this is after we saw each other.
Yes.
Canada was a good race. I wouldn't say it's the best race of the season, but there's always good racing there.
Oh, yeah.
To the point where I had such a good time this weekend. I had been set next year. My plans were the 500. Like, that's what I was doing. I honestly had such a good time. I'm like, I honestly don't know what race I'm going to go to next year because I was kind of set with, I was going to do the 500 and then my one F1 race of the year would be the Monaco Grand Prix. And then from Monaco, I'd go up to Le Mans. Yeah. But now I'm like, I don't know. Like, I genuinely had that good of a time and that good of a race experience.
I mean, not that I think Canada's contract is going to get terminated soon, but at least you know Indy is every year.
Yeah. Well, Canada just signed until 32, I believe, 2032. Oh. And F1 Academy will be there until 2028 minimum.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Oh, the Academy races were phenomenal. Porsche Cup was fun. Yeah. My brother was like, I have never watched an Academy race. This is incredible. Carnage. It was beautiful.
So good. It's such good racing.
Also, what is with every single person who's driving on their birthday having bad luck about racing on their birthday?
You would think it'd be like a good day too, and it never is.
It's never.
Nope.
And then later that day, we had St. Louis, which may have been one of the greatest IndyCar races of the season.
It was so good. It was so good.
Which Kyle Kirkwood won.
Yay!
Because I was in Canada, I could not watch on Fox. I was not watching through TSN. I may have been streaming it, not legally. But in that way, I had the British stream, which is slightly different than the US stream, in that there are no commercial breaks, so you still get the footage. But when Joseph Newgarden's crash happened, I did not get cut to an ad. You guys got cut to a little, like, video.
Yeah, we were on ad, and then all of a sudden it does his, like, you know, his intro that they play at the beginning? It cut to that, and then immediately they flipped on the screen, and he's upside down.
No, for me, it was just like, oh, let's go into Joseph's onboard. And then we start seeing it, and then all of a sudden the screen starts crackling, and the next thing you know, it's upside down. And we're like, what is going on? And I have to take out my headphones, and I'm like to my brother, I'm like, what is going on? And I turn the computer, and I'm like, and he's like, who is that? I'm like, it's Joseph. And he's like, that's the dude that won the 500 last year? And I'm like, yup.
Yep. Yeah, no, we didn't get any prep beforehand. Like, none of the into the turn, like, straight up just ad cutaway. Here's Joseph. Here's where all about him. And then cut to him flipped upside down, scraping along the side of the road. It was crazy.
And then he did it this week. So, like, you know what? These IndyCar drivers need the week off.
Yeah.
They deserve it. They've been through so much emotional turmoil.
But, like, and then they get to meet us after the week off, so it's
They're like, oh God, these two.
Oh, hey guys. Ugh.
That's right. We're going to the next IndyCar race.
Ohio.
Two people that never thought they would step foot in Ohio or go to Ohio optionally.
I mean, I would have gone to Detroit. Guys, I'm from Michigan, by the way. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I'm from Michigan before I get hated on.
And I come from a University of Michigan family. Okay, so Le Mans. I forgot that we also have to talk about Le Mans. This is going to be a long episode.
Yeah. Might come out in 2 parts if I get bored editing.
Suleiman, I was so happy. We're driving up to Canada. I'm playing qualifying because I'm driving the whole time. I have to pull over at some point because I just start crying when Cadillac got pole.
I
And I'm
was so
like, I can't
happy.
drive. I'm crying. I can't drive in this. And then we lost it on turn 6.
Yeah. Uh, we tried our best. We knew we weren't at race pace, but we did it. We got pole.
We got 1-2.
A whole 1-2. But it's okay. We didn't need it into the race. We had it, so it's fine.
You know what? Next year's our year.
Next year's our year. We'll win Le Mans next year. Uh,
While both of us are Cadillac fans, we are not specifically, in addition to being Cadillac fans, we are both Hertz Joda fans.
oh yeah.
Like that needs to be made clear. So when we're talking 1-2, that's what we're talking about. But like
Yeah.
just overall, very big Cadillac fans. So if you couldn't tell, I am wearing my Cadillac racing shirt that I got at Watkins Glen.
Yay! Let's go.
Yeah. So want to talk more about Le Mans since you actually watched? Besides me putting it on to sleep, waking up, going, Cadillac's 1-2, and I look at it and we're like 8 and 12, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, just let me turn this off.
It was a really good race. There wasn't any 5-hour yellows, which was ideal,
kinda
but also
miss.
not. Because to be honest, a 5-hour yellow means I can take a nap during it.
I'm very happy the Spanish broadcast brought back the songs.
It's such a good song.
Well, they did a remix this year. They did Espresso Macchiato, which is one of the songs from Eurovision this past year.
I love.
If you have not listened to the Spanish broadcast songs,
It's
please
always
look them
amazing.
up.
Yep.
They are incredible. You know what? Actually, we're gonna put one
It's
on for a second.
it's always
I'm gonna
at like 3 in the morning. Everyone's delusional and tired. It's great. I was delusional and tired, and it was not even 3 in the morning for me. It was probably like 6. I'm trying to time difference in my head. Yeah, 6. Yeah. I'm so bad with time changes.
En la noche canalla, que nos importa, será porque te amo, le, 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 más, le, 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 más, le, 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 le.
and just now in the most random times I go la 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 lemon.
I think about it all the time, especially when
I
I'm
do.
watching endurance races.
It's that should be the theme song for Black and IMSA and Elms and Elms.
Any race
Can
that's
you-
over 8 hours.
No, 6. Let's include 6
Well,
hours of the
okay,
Glen.
6 and up. Any race that's longer than 6 hours.
Any race that's considered an endurance race
Oh,
should
yeah.
have that as their theme song. Did you know IMSA at one point was called the American Le Mans Series, I believe? Or was that a separate series? Hold on. I know
No.
the American Le Mans Series existed.
I think that sounds right, and they probably changed it with the Asian Le Mans series, I'm assuming. Because they'd both be ALMS.
Oh, no. So in 2014, the series merged with the Grand Am Rolex Sports Cars Series to form the WeatherTech Sports Cars Championship, or IMSA.
Okay. You're talking about, wait, well, who merged?
The Rolex Sports Cars Series
Uh-huh.
combined to form
Oh, okay.
IMSA. But IMSA formed in 1971 and ran until 1998. And then, yeah, from the 1990s until 2013. sports car racing was split between Rolex Sports Car Series and American Le Mans Series, and then formed back together to form the American Sports Car Championship, which was renamed as the IMSA Sports Car Championship,
Okay.
which stands
to
for the
know.
International Motorsports Association. There's your weekly Googling that occurs during our episodes.
It happens literally every episode.
Every episode, we should come into these with research, but we never do.
But like, what if I just have a burning question that I need answered during the podcast?
Exactly. Usually I come up with the weirdest questions.
Well, because I'm just like talking out loud during this, and I'm like thinking of things.
Yeah. And then this past week, we had Formula E.
Dan TikTok.
He finally got his first win. Yay!
Hooray!
And I think Koopa Kiro did absolutely the funniest thing,
Oh yeah.
which was post a photo of Dan tagging George Russell and wrote, "Not bad for a British Formula E driver, huh?"
I think that team is good for him because they match Dan's energy so well.
I know, it wasn't last week, but it was one of the other races they had said, and we actually discussed this. The commentators were like, good for Dan when he was playing Call of Duty or watching a Call of Duty stream while in the car. They were like, good for Dan for finding a team that like works with him.
Yeah.
And I'm
yeah.
happy, everyone deserves that.
Love that for him.
I do love that you could look at almost any driver who went through any of the formulas in the UK or in Europe, and somehow on their Wikipedia page, you'll end up on Dan's.
Who are we looking at? I was looking at someone, like, I didn't even think they were, like, anywhere close to Dan at all. Oh my gosh, I think it was, like...
Is it
Who was
Colton?
it? Oh my gosh.
Because I learned recently that photo that's Colton and Lando, the third
Yes,
driver
right.
in it is
It totally
Dan.
was Colin because I was like, how do they even, like, connect?
So there's always, like, I've always talked about this photo that is Colton Herta and Lando Norris. And I think it's really funny because Lando is older than Colton. And Colton towers over Lando in this photo. Like,
It's
looks
so
so
funny.
much older. And it's funny because he's Lando's pretty much a full year older than Colton. And the third driver in that photo is Dan Ticktum.
Maybe it's not in here. Wait, hold on, I got this. I'm gonna find it.
And then, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
still
not
haven't
finding
watched the Formula E race, but I know Andretti started on pole. It was Jake Dennis on pole, and late in the race, Nick DeVries hit him.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, and as an Andretti fan, I was not happy. I love Nick. Don't get me wrong. But I love Andretti.
Yeah. Or Andretti now, according to my bracelet.
Okay. So, Liliana came to New York for 39 hours, pretty much.
Yep.
Are we rounding up to 40?
I can do the math really fast if we keep telling this story.
Okay. So Liliana comes to New York for under 2 days. And basically, I have decided I'm driving an electric car because my actual car, cannot make the drive from New York City to Ithaca. Or to Watkins Glen. Ithaca is near Watkins Glen. So we're driving my mom's car because my parents are in Europe. Hi, mom and dad. They listen. And basically, we have to stop and recharge a million times. Anyways, we don't get into our hotel until 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And then we're up at 9 a.m. the next day to the track at 10. we drive back from the race that night, and we're back in New York around 12:30. No, I feel like we got back before 12:30.
I think we got back at like 11-ish.
Okay, I don't think we went to bed until like 12:30. I think
Yeah.
that's what it was, because you just kept trying to go to sleep, and I'd just be like, hey, look at this.
I don't know. I don't know if I was going to sleep yet. Hi, girls. My dog's in here
No,
now.
because I remember at one point I just look at you and I go, they're trying to cancel Dan.
I did. Yeah, I don't think I had been like fully ready to go to sleep at that point, which is why I like turned up and I was like, what?
It was just so
But-
random.
Anyway,
And
math
then-
behind it, 46 hours total.
No, there's no way, because 48 hours you would have had to be there at 6 p.m. That's when you landed.
Oh, wait. My flight. Sorry, I was doing my flight time the flight started, not the flight ended. I lied. Hold on. Now I have to recalculate. Anyway,
Girl, your flight was at 9:30 a.m., but you landed at 6:30 the night before. 2 days before.
yeah, that's why I was calculating wrong. I was calculating from 4 o'clock.
No.
So, wrong answer. It's not 46.
Okay, you were gone from your house for 48 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we will talk about our IMSA experience after we finish this story. And Liliana, why am I telling the story about your life?
I'll finish telling it. We had gotten like probably 14 hours out of the 40 hours
Of sleep.
I was there of sleep. And so when I had gotten home, I was like, no, I can't go to bed because I need to keep on my sleep schedule. Like I had gotten back at like 1 p.m. and I was like, I'm so tired, but like if I go to bed right now, I'm not going to go to bed until 1 a.m. and then I'm screwed for the rest of the week. And so I didn't go to bed, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to Ohio next week. I need to start making bracelets. And so I have one for Pato and Stingray Rob. Then I made an Andretti one, but I missed the N, so it just says Andretti on it. And I'm going to still bring it.
Oh,
but-
totally.
It's wrong. So wrong.
You know who we should find and give it to? Taurus. I forget his first name. Is it Dan also?
Dan. It's Dan.
We should give it to Dan Taurus, the CEO of Andretti.
Here you go. I know it's spelled wrong, but here you go.
Please invite us to anything Andretti related. We love you.
It won't look like I love you with the spelling that I put on this bracelet, but we do.
Speaking of which, I can't find any of my pre-made IndyCar bracelets, which means I need to somehow make 60 bracelets in a week. Which that's not impossible. Like, don't
We
count
can do
me
it.
out. I am remote all week. Don't doubt me. Like, I got this.
I got this,
But
guys.
I'm a little annoyed. And I feel bad because I told some of the wags in Indy Next and an IndyCar that I'd make them bracelets. And now I'm like, I don't remember who I promised. I gotta
We
go
got
through my
this.
DMs. I
have two
told
that
Molly
know.
Robb. I told Molly Robb I'd make her one. And I have her. She's the only bracelet I have currently. And then I believe I told Miles Rowe's girlfriend, but I cannot remember what color I told her I was going to make her.
We'll figure it out.
But
We got this.
But I got new beads, so do that. Tomorrow I am maybe going to run to an AMC and just pick up one of the popcorn buckets, see if they have them, because I want one of the helmets and maybe paint it.
That's what I want to do so bad.
Oh yeah, so I was supposed to go to an early screening this week on Tuesday at the AMC Kips Bay. I was invited by Tasha, and I was like so ready. I wake up Tuesday and I'm like, I do not feel good. I've already been pushing myself because I typically work Sundays. I was technically working Sunday while at the race. Like, I had my work computer with me.
Mm-hmm.
To my boss, if you are somehow listening, I totally checked my work email. I
No,
on
she
my
did.
phone,
She
actually.
pulled her laptop
I
out
actually
in the
did.
car.
I did. I was sitting there in my laptop cooling down. And I just, Tuesday, I guess it all hit me. And I was like, yeah, no, I think I have heat stroke. I don't think I can go. So I sent a text at like 4 and I was like, hey, like, I'm not going to make it. I ended up falling asleep by 5 p.m. that night. Turns out the movie theater had no AC. It was 110 in New York that day. I'm so happy I was sick that day and I didn't even venture into New York City to make it.
That would be awful.
Do you still have your tattoos?
No, they
Mine's
rubbed off.
almost gone. Mine's almost gone.
They rubbed off.
We got temporary tattoos from AO Racing of Rexy and
Gosh.
Spike.
My dogs are losing their mind right now. I'm so sorry. I don't know why.
Okay, I think we should talk about IMSA.
Oh yeah.
So I went to my first IMSA race.
We love IMSA.
A big shout out to Metro Porsche Club of America, based in New York City, because Liliana won tickets for the 6 hours of the Glen.
Oh yeah.
So shout out to them for having a targeted ad and it getting on my feed. So then I tagged Liliana and then she also entered and she won and she brought me and I got to go to my first IMSA race.
We love IMSA.
And it's kind of surreal because I remember last year when I first got into racing and I first got into IMSA, I had gone up to my dad and I was like, oh, look, there's a race in New York. We should go. And he was like, yeah, whatever. And then we looked at it and we were like, Watkins Glen, that is 4 hours away. Maybe not. And then this comes around and this happens. And it was just like perfect. And honestly, there was nobody I'd rather go to my first IMSA race with than you.
IMSA races are like I'm
because
gonna say this.
You're how I got
best
into
ones.
endurance racing. You are how I got into endurance.
I love endurance racing. It's my favorite.
I feel like I've pushed you into Indy a lot and you've pushed me into endurance. And
Oh, yeah.
I think that it's a very beautiful, beneficial relationship where our favorite series happen to just work together and they're like feature a lot of the same drivers and it's great.
I know now we need to go to like Long Beach or Detroit where they have both.
I think Long Beach is going to be on my list for next year.
Yeah. Depending on where I am for the summer.
Because
Detroit.
Detroit will probably be... No, it will not. I'm trying to... My brain went, oh, Monaco and Detroit are going to be the same weekend. They're not. I went Monaco and the 500 are going to be the same weekend and Detroit's the weekend after and Le Mans, yet no. Because next year Le Mans and Monaco are going to be like one after the other.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea when anything is. I just watch.
I love it.
I can tell you when the Rolex 24 is going to be.
Why don't you tell us?
January. Okay, so the Roar
I think
before
it's
the
the
24.
27th and the 20 through the 29th.
Yes. If that's a weekend, yes. And usually the Roar before the 24 is like that 13th or 14th to the 16th-ish.
I will hopefully be there for one of them. I do not know what, if I'll be there for the Roar or the regular. It literally depends on my work calendar because we have something scheduled, but right now it may not happen. So I may be able to make it because I very unfortunately will not be able to make it to Petit Le Mans. And
okay. I think
we're
it's
not
the
old enough
16th
to
to the
travel.
And the 23rd.
And you
to
cannot
the
get a
25th.
hotel on your own.
Nope. Which is so dumb, by the way. Like,
Especially if a hotel doesn't have a minibar in the room. Like, that is usually the rule of why hotels are 21.
I'm a whole 20 years old almost.
One more year. I mean, I still have to pay extra for a rental car until the end of September.
Why can't I just get a hotel room?
There are some that allow. I forget what brand it is. One of them does.
It's hard to find though.
You can call usually.
Oh, really? It's like,
Because when I was doing my hurricane evacuation from Ida, I was 20. My friends were 21, but the room was under my name.
oh, okay.
And
see.
so when we had done our first stop in Birmingham, which I wish I was into race cars then because I would have been like, oh my God, let's go to Barber in the middle of our
Yeah.
hurricane evacuation from a Category 5 hurricane.
That's literally
on
what
their
it
way
was
to
coming back
Atlanta.
this year from I already forget the name. Whatever the second one
Yeah.
was in October. And we
Oh,
had been coming
I know
back.
which.
I can't remember if it was the girl name or the boy name. I'm really bad at the hurricanes. Um, but we were coming back into Atlanta. Like we were literally flying into Atlanta and driving home from Georgia the next day. And we almost went to Petite Le Mans because it was literally that weekend.
Was it Helene
Oh, yeah, yeah.
or was it Isaac?
I don't think it was Isaac because I
I
don't think
think
we
it
had to
was
evacuate.
Helene.
I don't think we had
No,
to
it was,
evacuate
or
for Isaac.
it wasn't you guys. We had Francine. I was like, which one did y'all count? Francine hit me, and I didn't have school, and I went, guess I'm going to Nashville a day earlier. And then I went to the Nashville IndyCar race.
Yeah, we just had Helene and whatever one was right before it.
I like, as much as I love going to racing, I need to stop going to races in person because my drivers never do well. For
See,
example, Canada, last year, Logan crashed. This year, Lando crashed. And this year, we had the mess that was the 14. The 14 lost its tire about hour 3 or 4. PFAF hit a wall. Yeah, for 6 hours of the Glen.
I think it
PFAF
was
hit a wall.
4.5 or something.
Yeah, I just know we were at the Senna, the Jackie
Yeah.
Stewart stands.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you are ever going to Watkins Glen, that is the best grandstand we've discovered.
Yeah,
By far.
the start line is good for the very beginning, but move over there after.
You have no clue what's going on if you're at the start line. The speakers aren't great. There's no screens. You have no idea what's going on. Stewart grandstands, you do. You have speakers and you have a screen.
Oh.
The 11 lost their windshield. How?
That
I
crash
don't.
was a mess.
So you need to understand is we're at PFAF and we're buying the Thim stickers. And first off, the guy who's selling them loves us because of this, because we buy both the heart and the pro Thim and the anti Thim.
Yeah, well, that's the only
And
way
he
to
was
do
like,
it.
this is the only way to do it. And he goes, this is a good balance. And we were like, thank
You
you.
can only have it in moderation.
Exactly. And it was just laughing with us. And he goes, hold on, I need to see this. And I'm like, what's going on? And I grab Lily and I'm like, what is going on?
We're like, oh, crash.
And I'm like, don't worry, they can fix the car. And we have our friend John is like, yeah, the car's not getting repaired. And I'm in Delulu land, and I'm like, no, the 11's coming back. Don't worry.
It's coming back.
Hunter's
Don't
got
worry.
this. Hunter didn't even get in the car the whole weekend. He may not have, he wasn't, I don't even know if he was supposed to race in the end. Very confusing. I'm a big Hunter McElroy fan. I will basically become a fan of any driver if they have a good online presence. Like, I hate to admit it, that is how I discovered him. His Twitter is amazing.
And then there was the 31.
So we left early because my mother texted me. She's like, you're going to hit Catskills traffic.
Is that your mom?
Which is a very, very valid point. If you live in the New York metro area, you know how bad traffic from New York State, from people who leave the city for the weekend, coming back in. And we did hit major bridge traffic at 11:30 at night.
Yeah. Although I think it might have been
night?
like a crash.
I don't know. There was a lane closed on the bridge. It was a mess. Anyway, like, there was still traffic, which you would not expect on a Sunday night at 10:30. I like
Whatever
how the
time it
just
was.
keeps shifting. It was past my bedtime. That's all I know.
Whatever time it was that.
There was still traffic. And yeah, so we left a little bit early and crashed out in the car, having the 31 lose their lead on the last lap.
I was so mad. I was like, you so for real?
I know, I was like, thank God we weren't there because I think you and I may have cried.
If I was in the stands at that moment, there would have been tremendous, like,
Yeah.
amount of crash out happening. It would have been so bad.
The car ride home would have been silent.
Yeah. We would have gotten in that car and, like, hit traffic, no talking.
We would have been like, maybe we skip ice cream.
Let's just keep driving.
Also, this is a shout out for the Cowlick in Hancock, New York. The best ice cream.
We stopped and it was so good.
So the plan was on the way there, we were going to stop and charge in Hancock, New York, because they have a ton of charging stations. I also went to camp in that town. I went to French Woods, and that's also in Hancock, New York. And I was so excited, and our timing was off. We weren't going to make it by 9. We would have made it by 9 if we didn't stop, but we needed to get fuel.
Yeah.
Well, this is the whole debate. When you're driving an electric car, what do you call it? Like, we had to charge the car. There we go.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we weren't going to make it in time. We were like, you know what? We'll just make it on the ride home. And it was so worth it. I had cookies and cream. It was phenomenal. Turns out they have fried pickles, which I may have to go drive and get.
I did not read that on the menu. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Huh.
They actually have food. It was weird. Because all I remember was them having ice cream. But that was also 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I think the funniest part of it was we were laying in bed and I'm looking at my DMs and my friend goes, oh my God, I got ice cream there last year. And I was like, I'm the one who told you to go there.
I said that. Thank you.
But all in all, IMSA was incredible.
Amazing.
I'm really proud of the crew behind the 31 because they had a terrible race.
It was so bad. It was so bad. I don't know how they recovered that. And then
So bad. So the race starts, and first off, in the beginning of the race, it's fine. It's cloudy. I'm like, you know what? This is a comfortable temperature.
Yeah.
And there is no rain on the forecast. But I am like, you know what? I am bringing my ponchos. They are not leaving my race bag. And good thing I did because 4 laps in, torrential downpouring. No, I think it was the 4th lap.
Literally the start of the 4th lap.
Starts torrentially downpouring. Everyone's running. Lily and I are just sitting there. I'm like, here's the poncho.
We've got our ponchos on. We're like the only people in the stands.
And there's like 2 people sitting in front of us, and they're like, do we go? Do we not? And I'm like, here, do you want ponchos? And they were like, you have extra? And I was like, of course I do.
And it literally stopped raining probably not even, 5 minutes after.
So we were like, after a point, we were like, we have so many electronics in our bag. Let's just go under the grandstand.
Yeah.
And so we go under there, and when it stops, we're like, okay, let's walk around. And I'm like, I want chicken fingers. So we went to go get me chicken fingers, but first we stop at PFAF, and that's when the 11 crash happens.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know what? I just need chicken fingers to console me.
So we got chicken fingers.
So I got chicken fingers. They were good. They were expensive. They were $15.
Yeah.
But they were good.
Most racetrack foods are.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Those are like 20.
Yeah.
And that's without fries.
I'm scared. I don't feel like Mid-Ohio will be that expensive.
I doubt it.
St. Pete was well priced. I think I paid $12 for chicken fingers in Nashville.
Not bad.
I didn't eat at the track in St. Pete. Because St. Pete's in the city of St. Petersburg, so we left the track and walked to Publix and ate, and then walked back.
Oh, did you get a pub sub?
No, I got popcorn chicken.
Oh, still good, still good. Okay, that's worth.
The pub sub line was so long.
They always are, unless you have multiple Publixes in your town.
Yeah.
Publix?
Publi?
What's the plural of Publix? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Anyway, had a really great time. I bought 2 hats. Okay, the thing was, I was on a hat buying ban, And so I bought a Rexy cap, and I had gone into the weekend saying I wanted two things. I wanted AO Racing merch, and I wanted Cadillac merch.
We did not get
Cadillac
Cadillac
did
merch.
not have any merch for sale, which is absurd to me because all I wanted was a Cadillac hat. But they had free shirts.
The free shirts
And
are
I
nice.
love my Cadillac Racing shirt. And it's a very comfy shirt. And then the back has all the cities that they race in endurance racing. So I think it's everything that IMSA and WAC races in.
Yes.
You're
gonna check the bag. Daytona, Qatar,
Sebring, Long Beach, Imola, Spa, Laguna Seca, Detroit, Le Mans, Watkins Glen, Sao Paulo, Austin, Road America, Indy, Fuji, Road Atlanta, and Bahrain. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm impressed that I did that upside down. And then I got a Rexy cap, and I was like, oh, do you have kid sizes? And they were like, yeah, but I don't think you're going to fit in. And then I was like, watch me. Put it on, and she was like, oh, you really do have a kid's head. And then, but I realized that's a snapback, and I look terrible in snapbacks. And I went, yeah, I'm buying an Iron Dames hat, which was my most expensive purchase of the day.
I think the snapback was good, but you had to have your hair down to wear it, and it was hot.
I did. It was hot. It had rained, and so my hair was straight, and it got very curly very quickly, and I didn't have product in it, and so it grew about 3 times. And I was like, I just want my hair up. I want it back. Like, I will wear Rexy. Don't get me wrong. I love Rexy. I will wear Rexy.
But
I
not
needed
a
another hat.
100
And I was
degree
just
day.
like, yeah. The real feel was 110 outside, and God bless Roman Grosjean.
Yeah.
He goes, I was cooking in that car. And using the fact that man has walked through fire, he can tell us what hot is. Yeah, so the Lamborghini does not have any cooling system in the car. It does not have water in the car. So he's doing that all alone on a cool suit, which barely work.
I was going to say, did his suit, I thought he said his suit didn't even work.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. The cool suits never work. They have never been updated since they were created, and they just don't work well.
No. And I was hot, and I wasn't even, like, in a contained, like, I was in the wind. I was up in a stand in the breeze.
I had to leave half the time because I was dying in the heat. Me and that one fan that sprayed water were besties. I just stood there for like 20 minutes. I kept walking into the Pyramid, which is the gift shop at Watkins Glen, because it's air conditioned.
Which is honestly so valid. It was hot.
It was hot.
No cloud coverage. When there was clouds, it was great. That was the
so
best
imagine
moment.
that, but no wind.
Ugh.
And then you're in the second to top row as like the front straight high. That's where we were in Canada. There was no wind. It was so hot. I went through so much sunscreen, was still red. I did come home from this race, and my mom like looked at me on FaceTime, and she's like, you are so tan. And I was like, I went outside for 4 days. I was in the sun for 4 days. You're going to see me and you're going to be like, oh, you weren't joking. I had to go up a foundation shade.
I did not get tan. I'm still pale.
Yes, but I have made my weird... I tend to wear the exact same skirt for every race I go to because it is the Lululemon. I don't even know what the name of the skirt is. It's an athletic skirt. It is the greatest thing for racing because it has pockets on the side. It works with every outfit. But I get the worst tan lines wearing it because I also put my arms on my thighs. And so just there's a diagonal line on my thigh of tanness and the rest is pale.
The tan line I got from Daytona my first year was so bad because I had to switch pants in the middle of the night so I could stay warm.
You know what tan lines we're going to get this weekend? Lanyard
Also
tan
bad
lines.
Wait, what ones?
We're going to get a lanyard tan line.
Oh my god, yeah. I better not, actually.
I'm gonna end up with one. I keep saying this weekend, next weekend.
It's kind of a flex, but I also don't want one.
Friends of the pod, Kiara, has sent me photos of her lanyard tan lines, and they are horrible. Like, the only benefit of living back home in New Jersey is affordable spray tans to try to fix that. Because in this place, we do not do tanning booths because we don't get skin cancer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big proponent on that.
Oh
which
gosh,
is
Road
actually
America,
kind of funny.
right? Yeah, Road America was this weekend, too. I completely forgot about Road America.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to Road America yet.
I was like I was like in my head trying to process what races we haven't talked about, and I said it out loud.
But anyway, if you go to our house, what looks like there's a tanning bed, it's not a tanning bed. Both my mom and I have psoriasis, so it's a light treatment booth. But every time my friends come over, they're like, I thought you were crazy about sunscreen and getting skin cancer. Why do you have a tanning booth? I'm like, it's not a tanning booth.
It's not. Believe me.
Okay. And then every time Alex Below wins a race, I just wonder how it happens. Because I just went through and watched this one. And this wasn't like St. Pete where he was leading the whole race, or Thermal, which we are not racing in next year, where he leads until the end and just overtakes. This was a race where I'm like, where did you come from? Like, how did he win the championship?
The whole race was kind of like that.
So we were not watching live. We're sitting on the grandstands and we're like, I think it's maybe 4 to go, and it's Dixon, Hello, Rossi, and we're like, oh, okay, good podium. Like, we're okay with that.
Yeah, I was like, this is good. This is great.
1 to go. Rossi's gone. Dixon's gone. You're like, what is going on?
Yeah. And we were getting like kind of live updates, but it wasn't an explanation of what was happening. It was just, oh no.
We got like an, oh no, Stingray! And we were like, what? I just remember the race started and I get a text and it was, Malukas, oh God. And I was like, wait, what happened? And she's like,
what's going on?
And Kiara was like, oh, he's in the gravel. And I was like, what happened? So moral of the story is, IndyCar, I would recommend putting your group chats on mute if they're going to discuss IndyCar if you can't catch a race, because there is always chaos.
Yeah. Or like, tell them if they're going to say, oh no, respond also with what is happening. We want to know. Are we missing any other races? I think we got them all.
No. I think we need to talk a little bit more about Road America, though.
Yeah, probably. But we hit them all, at least.
Also, seeing Alex Palou drive any car that is not the DHL mobile is so confusing, because I kept seeing a red car and I'm like, who is that? Is that a Penske?
Oh, it's Alex.
I was like, oh, is that a Penske? Because then I kept seeing the yellow of Scotty Mack in the Expel car, and I was like, Alex?
What's happening?
Because I know that Scotty does drive a yellow car, but in my head, I was like, oh, he's in the Good Ranchers mobile. He was not in the Good Ranchers mobile. It was the Expel Grand Prix. He was driving the Expel car.
It's always, I need them to just pick a color and stay in that color for the rest of their time, because I can never remember.
Speaking of liveries, I'm going to say something nice about a driver that we don't typically say things nice about. We don't usually talk about. I actually enjoyed the all black. I know it was like a memorial livery for somebody who died. I liked the all black for Santino.
Oh, I did not know who we were talking about for a second. I was like, wait.
And we just don't talk. We don't talk bad about him. We just don't talk about him typically.
Yeah.
I actually liked the all black livery. I know it was a memorial livery, but I thought it was really different and it didn't look like every other car.
Yeah. I want to see more of that. I want to see more of like liveries
Cars
that
are,
yeah.
Give me more. You know, it'd be great if what came back. What do you think I'm gonna say? Pink
I
cars.
was thinking like Formula E,
Oh, I was
like how they
thinking
have
pink
their
cars.
liveries. Oh, I was not thinking that.
I was thinking Auto Nation, please come back. I was also thinking Chili's, come back.
Chili's, please. We loved your car.
I'm gonna DM Andretti Indy. Any chance the Chili's livery will come back for Nashville?
Can you guys have
Actually,
the Chili's
you know
car
what?
for Ohio, please?
I'm actually gonna DM them. Hannah O'Brien, if you're listening, please answer my DMs.
We met a lot of friends at IMSA. We got to say hi to a bunch of people, meet a bunch of people that we knew, meet a bunch of people that we didn't. I talked a lot.
We found so many Logan Sargent fans.
Yes, we
not
did.
see Logan. We did not
We
see
did
Logan.
not. It's okay. Yes, no, but I talked to so many people. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I would just be talking. Like, I am already a D1 yapper. It was so much worse this weekend. I was like, everyone I met, I was like, oh, hey. I love race cars. They'd be like, yeah, me too.
Okay, I DM'd them. Said, hey besties, is 30 Shot the Chili's wagon will be back for any races? I miss it.
Love it.
And I do know who runs their social media. I've met her.
She's cool.
She's so cool. We love Hannah.
Oh my gosh, we've almost hit an hour.
I know, we barely have anything to cut. Well, to be fair, we're covering 2 major weeks of racing in one episode.
We had a lot. But, like, our vlog made up for not having a podcast last week, so it's fine. Oh, by the way, guys, vlog out on YouTube. I hope you've already seen, but if not, it's out. It's only 15 minutes long. The next one will be longer.
It's about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But that's a
didn't
lot
get it.
for...
We didn't get as much as we thought I did.
Okay, well, I will start recording soon when I start packing.
That's what, like, there's gonna be a lot, I think, for Ohio. But we were also not prepared for Watkins Glen, so.
Louis Foster, please grow back your mustache.
Please. Oh my gosh.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Yeah. Louis Foster
See,
needs to
it's
grow back his
true.
mustache.
It's true. Louis Foster, you should grow back your mustache.
Mhm.
My mom says if you sneeze after a fact, it's true.
Oh. Yeah. Grow back your mustache.
Please, we miss it. We love it.
We're glad
dearly.
you got pulled, but please.
That being said, I was looking at the little graphics on the side of the screen that, like, you know, the top 3 get. The
Yeah.
mustache looks photoshopped on in it. It's really funny.
Oh. I know now that he doesn't have it, I like forget what he looks like with it, but he hasn't even not had it for that long. I'm
It's
just
been,
really
what,
bad at
5
facial
days?
recognition.
It's 5 days, 6 days.
I'm just really
Not
bad with
even.
recognizing faces without defining features.
I know. I feel like next year we need to go to Watkins Glen. It's a sign. Not Watkins Glen, Road America. Okay, you can find me on social media at Fast Car Fangirl.
And you can find me at Liliana's Racing Diaries on both Instagram and TikTok.
And you can find our podcast on all major streaming services, and on Instagram and TikTok at pitstop.perspectives. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.